practicing Satipatthana Vipassana meditation continuously. You practice sitting, walking, daily activities. And also you have to take about 2 hours to take breakfast and lunch. So today the subject is Sampajanya, clear comprehension in eating. Our bodies are so made that they need nourishment every day. So we have to eat every day to keep ourselves alive. Eating has become a big part of our lives. People have to spend a lot of time for eating. That means try to find material and cook them and eat them until the dishes are done. So it takes time. But not everybody eats wisely. Some eat what is detrimental to their health and pay the price with different diseases. Yogis are fortunate that Vipassana meditation teach how to eat wisely. Also in daily life, all the yogis very familiar to practice eating mindful. In the retreat, you have more time to practice in eating. So Vipassana teach us that if we pay attention to what activities involved in eating, we will not only improve our health, but
Recording in
also
progress.
we can gain inside knowledge into the true nature of eating. In the Satipatthana, great discourse of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, Buddha taught Sampajanya, clear comprehension. And in that section, Buddha taught that yogis must apply clear comprehension. When he go forward, when he go back, when he stretch, when he bend, and so on. And one sentence included in this sutta is to apply clear comprehension. When he eats, drink, chew, and lick. There are 4 kinds of food: soft food, food that can be drunk, and food that is eaten by biting or chewing, and food that is eaten by licking. Eating is for food like rice, curry, and others, and drinking is for food like rice soup, etc. And chewing is for food, hard food like cakes or cookies or fruits. And licking is for food like honey. When we eat honey, we don't eat honey. We don't drink honey, but we lick honey. So if we do not lick, if we try to eat honey, we will choke. So food like honey and molasses, we eat by licking. So there are 4 kinds of food. Whatever food yogis are eating, Buddha said, yogi is to apply clear comprehension, sambhazinya, atapi, sambhajano, satima, yogi applying all the time, sambhazinya. Actually, in order to gain clear comprehension in eating, we need to apply mindfulness to eating. Without sati, without mindfulness, there can be no concentration, no samadhi. And without concentration, without samadhi, there can be no clear comprehension, pinya, wisdom. So basically, we must apply mindfulness to eating. So in that Mahasiddhipatthana Sutta, Buddha said, asite, pite, kaite, saite, sambhajana kari hoti. When eating, drinking, chewing, and licking, yogi have to apply clear comprehension. So the advice given by the Buddha was very short, just one sentence. Site, pite, kaite, saite, samajana kari hoti. But the monk applies clear comprehension when eating, drinking, chewing, and licking. But Buddha must have said more than that. Although the detailed instructions are not in the discourse, these instructions are remembered by his immediately disciple, and then the disciple handed down these instructions in the form of what is called miscellaneous teaching. And then commentators wrote the commentaries and they incorporate these instructions handed down from generation to generation in their commentaries. So in the commentary, a more detailed instruction is given. Before we try to understand clear comprehension in eating, first we must understand clear comprehension. Clear comprehension is correct understanding, and the commentary said that there are 4 kinds of clear comprehension, sambhazinya. The first one is clear comprehensions of what is beneficial or not, what is purposeful or what is not purposeful. That is sattaka sambhazinya. Number 2 is clear comprehension of what is suitable or not suitable. That is sappaya sambhazinya. Number 3 is clear comprehension of resort, kochara sambhazinya. Clear comprehension of domains of meditators. Number 4 is clear comprehensions of non-delusion, asamoha sambhazinya. Some yogi familiar with these four sambhasanya, but you need to remember. Can you follow me? Four sambhasanya. Sattaka sambhasanya, clear comprehension of what is beneficial or not. Clear comprehension of what is beneficial or not. So number 2 is sapaya sambhasanya, that is clear comprehension of what is suitable or not. Can you follow me? Sapaya sambhasanya, clear comprehension of what is suitable or not. Clear comprehension of what is suitable or not. So number 3 is gochara, that is resort or domain or territory of meditators. Can you follow me? Gochara sambhasanya, clear comprehension of the resort, clear comprehension of the domain of meditators. So number 4 is asamoha, that is clear comprehensions of non-delusion. Can you follow me? Asamoha sambhasanya, clear comprehension of non-delusion. So the first one is sattaka sambhasanya, clear comprehensions of what is beneficial or what is not beneficial, what is purposeful or what is not purposeful. So clear comprehensions of what is beneficial or what is not beneficial is try to find out whether in this case to eat something is beneficial for your body or something is beneficial for your health. You need to find out. And when you find out that it is beneficial, and then second step you must do is to see whether it is suitable to eat that food. If by eating some food you get uncomfortable, then that food is not suitable for you. If by eating some food the unwholesome mental states increase in your mind and wholesome mental states diminish in your minds, then that food is definitely not suitable for you. So you must find out whether the food, although it is beneficial, the food is suitable or not. And only when it is suitable, you are to take the food. So these kinds of clear comprehension can be used both in the meditation retreat or and out of meditation retreat. When you are meditating, also you can apply these two kinds of clear comprehension. The third one is clear comprehension of resort. That means just not giving up meditation while eating. In the daily life, people want to enjoy with eating, but here everything have to be practiced with mindfulness seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and standing, walking, bending, eating, chewing, etc. So everything have to be done with mindfulness. So don't give up meditation while eating. That means eating with mindfulness or applying mindfulness to the activities involved in the act of eating. That is what yogi do at the retreats. Yogi very patient. Everything have to be patient. So when yogi eat, they have to be mindful, or they have to make mental notes of the small activities involved in the act of eating. So when we eat, what do we do? Following the instruction given in the commentaries, first, we may pick up the bowls or plates or spoons and forks, and then you see the food, and then wanted to eat, wanted to stretch, then you may put food on the plates, you may take the food in the spoon, then bring the food to the mouth, you open the mouth, you put the food into the mouth, then you chew the food, then you swallow it down. The food gets into the stomach and it is digested there. And then it gets in to be expelled from your body. So from the beginning to the end, you need to be aware until in the bathroom, because the digested food gets to be expelled from the body. So the commentary said that all these activities should be done with mindfulness. So when you look at the food, be mindful of looking. And then you want to take it and pay attention to your mental state, wanted to get it, wanted to take, and then the hand stretching. First you pick up the bowls, you're mindful of picking up, and you make notes of picking up. And when you take the food into the spoon, you may make mental notes at taking. Then when you bring the food to the mouth, be mindful of bringing. You open the mouth, be mindful of opening. Who asks you to open your mouth? The mental states, something is urging you, open your mouth. So you open the mouth. When you put the food into the mouth, be mindful of putting. When you chewing. Teeth and tongue are working very skillfully, be aware. Be mindful of chewing, and when you swallow it down, be mindful of swallowing. And you know whether the food is digested or not. So when you know the food is digested, then you be mindful that it is digested and so on. So you eat with mindfulness in this way. What is the benefits yogi gets from eating with mindfulness? Apart from getting jnana results, vipassana jnana, vipassana progress results, eating with mindfulness helps you to avoid overeating. Since you have to be making notes of every activities, you don't want to eat more than is necessary. Even eating becomes a burden. Yes, true, very burdensome for eating. You do not tend to overeat when you eat with mindfulness. And when you do not overeat, you can improve your health, and also you can keep your weight down. It is beneficial for people to eat food with mindfulness. So when you are eating with mindfulness and paying attention to all these activities, your mind becomes concentrated. When your concentration is developed, you begin to see the true nature of Namarupa, true nature of these activities. So first you practice what is called clear comprehensions of result. Clear comprehension of domain or territory. You are in the meditation zone, very, very fortunate. All the yogis practicing diligently because they know that it is the domain of meditation. You are in the meditation zone, you are in the domain of meditation, you are in the territory of vipassana. So that means you practice mindfulness continuously. Here you practice mindfulness on eating and activities involved in eating. When the clear comprehension of result becomes mature, that means when you get concentration, then you begin to see the true nature. You begin to see correctly the activities involved. So you get clear comprehension of non-delusion, asamoha. Now some knowledge arise. Non-delusion means understanding clearly or understanding correctly. In these activities, actually, what are involved is just the dhatu, that means just the elements. You're very familiar with the 4 elements when you practice meditation. So during sitting, the air elements are recommended, rising and falling, like primary object, that is air elements. Now you are sitting also you can discover air elements. Walking air elements are also very familiar. So in the activities of eating, what are involved is just the elements, Vatavitadu, elements of earth, Abodhadu, elements of water, Tejodhadu, elements of fire, Vayodhadu, elements of air. So yogis are familiar with these 4 elements, earth, water, fire, and air. But here the commentaries added 2 more elements, Akasa Dhatu and Vijnana Dhatu, that is elements of space and elements of consciousness. So altogether 6 elements you can discover. So they describe that all these elements are involved in the activities of eating. Actually, these activities are nothing but these elements functioning. When you pick up the bowl, you mindful picking, and that picking up is caused by air elements. You can capture it when you really pay attention, picking. And that air elements is again caused by your mind, your mental activities. We call Sankara. Sankara is urging you. Pick up, and then you have to pick up because something is urging you. Pick up. That is called volitional activities. The yogi can capture these mental activities. So that is, you have the desire to pick up, that is mental activities, volitional activities, and that is mental activities, and then you pick it up. So picking up is caused by the mental activities, which is a desire to pick up. And when you have the desire to pick up, the desire produces the material elements of air in your body. And it is actually the diffusion of these elements of air that we call movement. When we make movement, the air elements is always involved. You pick up the force, you pick up by the force of air elements, and then you take the food to the mouth, lifting the food to the mouth, and there is also air elements. By the diffusion of air elements, you put the food into the mouth. Again, by air elements, you open your mouth by air elements. You chew the food by air elements, and you swallow the food down by air elements. That means yogi discover the movement. So when you eat, you can recognize, you can capture these phenomena. And when you make these activities, you can see that there is no such thing as self-eating. The person eating, there's no such person, no person. What is this? It is just the air elements doing different function. So it is the air elements that pick up the food. It is the air elements that takes to your mouth, and it is the air elements that open your mouth, and so on. And then during eating, you mindful, and then you can discover other elements. What is involved is not only the air elements, but the earth elements. Earth elements has a nature of being receptacle, something for some other things. So when the picking up or lifting the food to the mouth, opening the mouth and so on, the earth element is also involved. Sometimes you can discover hardness or softness. That is the what call the characteristics of earth elements. And when the food, after being crushed by the upper teeth and lower teeth, reach the stomach, and it is put there by the air elements. And when it reaches the stomach, it is cooked or it is digested. That digestion is by the fire elements or elements of heat. So these elements of heat cook the food, and so it becomes digested. After it is digested, it goes down through the intestine. That going down through the intestine is caused by, again, air elements. Sometimes yogi feel heat or cold in your stomach or in other parts of the body, that is fire elements. And then water elements keeps the moistures in the food. It keeps the food moistened, because if it does not function, then the food will become dry because fire elements is there. So in order to keep digested food from getting too hurt, the water elements keeping it moist and keeping it wet. So in this eating process, now you see the 4 elements. Actually, it is these 4 elements functioning. They are doing their different function that we call eating. So when you really pay attention to the activities, you can see that all elements are different, and you see the movements are different, functions are different, characteristics are different. Here in eating, you can see all different moments, different function, different characteristic, different nature in every activities. So in this act of eating, you cannot find anything other than these 4 elements. You cannot find any person or any man or woman who eats, but just the elements doing their respective function. And also in the Visuddhimagga, it mentioned that the yogi have to collect namarupa in terms of their characteristic, function, and manifestation. In terms of characteristic, functions, and manifestation means to observe, to capture what the characteristics of the air elements is, to understand what the functions of earth elements, what the manifestation of the earth element, etc. So yogi should observe, yogi should collect the 4 primary elements. So Visuddhimagga mentioned the characteristics of earth elements is hardness or smoothness, and the function is to serve as a base, and the manifestations of earth elements is to receive, is concomitant phenomena. And the characteristics of water elements is fluidity, and the function is to flourish. And the manifestations of water elements is to mingle, is a concomitant phenomena. And the characteristics of fire elements is heat or cold, and the function is to make its concomitant phenomena mature, and the manifestation is to soften them. And air elements, you're very familiar. When walking, noting the rising, falling, you see very clearly. And when you sit, you can feel some pressure. So the pressure, tightness, looseness. Sometimes when you sleepy, the body cannot be upright. The body, the looseness of the upper part of the body, you can feel that is air elements weak when you're sleepy. So the characteristics of air elements is pressure, tightness, looseness, and the function is to move, in moving or inclining or leaning or swaying. That is the functions of air elements. When you practice walking meditation, you can discover air elements clearly. And to make its concomitant phenomena move is the function, and the manifestation is to push them forward, or propulsion in any direction is the manifestations of air elements. And another element is akasa, that is space. Space is also involved in eating. That means it is like road for your digested food to go down to the lower entrance. So there is nobody who picks up a stick and push the digested food forward, but it is the air elements that moves the digested food downward. And for the food to go down, the space elements act as an avenue for it. And all these activities, even beginning with searching for food and so on, there is the vijnana consciousness. So there is mental activities going on also. So in the acts of eating, you find these 6 elements doing their respective function. You find just these 6 elements and nothing else. When you really pay attention, you can see more clearly. But when your concentration not strong yet, you cannot see. To discover the elements is without microscope. We have to apply only just our mindfulness and concentration. So when we see that there is no such thing as a person, no such thing as self-eating, actually these 6 elements functioning together, yogis are said to gain the correct understanding of the act of eating. This correct understanding yogi can acquire only when you apply mindfulness to the activities precisely. Through the establishment of your mindfulness, you gain concentration or quietness or steadiness of your mind. And when your mind becomes quiet, that means secluded from other mental hindrances, it becomes steady and it helps you to see the true nature. So when there is dirt in the water, you cannot see through it, but when the dirt is subsided or settled down and water becomes clear, you can see through it. In the same way, when there are mental hindrances, nivarana in your mind, you are not able to see the objects clearly. But once these mental hindrances are subdued, once they have settled down, then you begin to see clearly. When these mental hindrances are settled down, you are said to gain a certain degree of concentration. In the practice of meditation, vipassana, you just collect momentary concentration, khanika samadhi, but your concentration, khanika samadhi, momentary concentration, uh, getting powerful. That means you collect more and more continuously. So it is really powerful to discover the true nature. So when your concentration comes, then the seeing the true nature of Namarupa also comes. When you see that there are just these 6 elements doing their different functions at the moment, and no agent, no person, you can find out. Then you gain a correct understanding of the act which we call eating. So this understanding yogi can get only through your practice, not through reading books, not listening to the talk. Since it is your own seeing, you have to make effort. Nobody can make effort for us. So we have to do it ourselves. We have to practice ourselves. We have to apply mindfulness to the Namarupa or 5 khandhas. We are practicing. We have to apply clear comprehension to these activities. That is why in Vipassana meditation, we have to be mindful. We have to pay attention to whatever objects is prominent at the present moment. But when eating is very prominent. These activities are prominent, and so we have to be mindful of these activities. It may be difficult for those who have no experience of applying mindfulness to activities in eating, or maybe boring. But coming to the center, coming to the intensive retreat is not too easy. You are ready to be patient. You have been patient long time when you are in the retreat. So in order to see the true nature, we have to be patient, we have to watch them, we have to be mindful of these activities. It is through applying mindfulness that yogi gain concentration, and it is through concentration that you gain the correct understanding of these uh, uh, activities. Here, a correct understanding of eating process. Once you understand the eating process, once you understand that this process is nothing but these 6 elements functioning together, then you can avoid attachment to eating, you can avoid attachment to food. So when you can avoid attachment or craving for food, you are set to abandoning the mental defilements momentarily. This momentary abandonment will lead you to temporary abandonment. And this will lead ultimately to total abandonment when enlightenment is reached. In order to gain enlightenment, we need to see the true nature of Namarupa. We need to be dispassionate towards all conditioned phenomena. In order to be dispassionate towards all conditioned phenomena or Namarupa or all 5 aggregates, we need to see their true nature. In order to see the true nature, we need to observe, we need to apply mindfulness and clear comprehension. And eating is one part of our lives, and just by applying mindfulness when we eat, we can go deep into the nature of eating. We can understand that there is nothing we can call a person or self who eats, but just the elements functioning. So we get this correct understanding through direct observation of the activities involved in eating. And there's some explanation given in the commentaries about the clear comprehension of non-delusion. It is interesting. The commentary explained. So it explained that internally there is no self, there is no person which eats. The receiving of the alms bowl occurs through diffusions of air elements resulting from mental activities. That is desire to take, and then you take it. Through the diffusion of that same air elements resulting from mental activities, and the hand is placed in the bowl. That means we put down the hand into the bowl because in Eastern country, we eat with our hands. We do not use fork and spoons. We use our hands. We eat with our hands. So in order to eat, we put down our hand into the bowl and we pick up rice and we make it into something like a ball, and then we bring it to the mouth and put it into our mouth. So through the diffusion of that same air elements resulting from mental activities, you see, you capture the mental activities, that is desire to take, and that mental activities also you can capture if you pay attention. So through the division of that same air elements resulting from mental activities, the hand is placed in the bowl, in the plate, the food is formed into a lump, the lump is lifted to the mouth, and the mouth is opened. There's no one who opens the jaws with a key or device. It is again through the diffusions of air elements resulting from mental activities that the lump is placed in the mouth. The upper teeth perform the work of pestle. The lower teeth perform the work of a motor. And you pay attention to your tongue. The tongue performs the work of a hand. So in this way, the food is smeared with the thin spittle at the tip of the tongue and the thick spittle at the root of the tongue. So when it is being stirred around by the tongue's hand in the mortar of the lower teeth, moistened by spittle and pulverized by the pestle of the upper teeth, there's no one who makes it enter within with the spoon or ladle. It enters due to the air elements itself. So as each piece enters, there is no one who supports it on a straw mat. It remains there due to the air elements. While it remains there, there is no one builds an oven, lights a fire, and cooks each piece of food. The food is digested due to the heat elements itself. And when it is digested, there's no one who expels each piece of waste with a stick or pole. The digested food is expelled due to the air elements. So the air elements takes the food up to the mouth, take it down to the stomach, supports it, rotates it, pulverizes it, dehydrates it, and expel it. The earth element supports it, rotates it, pulverizes it, and dehydrates it. And the water elements moisten it, maintains its wetness. And the heat elements digest the food when it is entered within, and the space elements provides the passageway through which the food enters, rotates, and gets expelled from the body. A vijnana, the consciousness elements, in accordance with the appropriate effort, attends to one thing or another. So if you really mindful, you can capture some elements, and these elements appear when you observe, and they totally disappear immediately after appearing. So during eating, yogi can discover the true nature of the phenomena, namarupa, if you really pay attention. So we have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, by noting rising, falling, sitting, touching, seeing, hearing, smelling, eating, chewing, licking, etc., continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.